In this week. All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of The Naked Raw Truth, brought to you by yours truly and the crew. Guys, to everybody, Tucker, Tyler, and Adam. And your friend Efrain Escudero Mexico. And we also have behind the scenes cameras. Hey, guys. All week I've been trying to convince him to come in and here show yourself to the face, to the camera. Show.
Yeah, come squeak in.
Real quick.
Just like
in and out.
Oh,
here it comes.
Seeing him.
All right, guys, that's Jesus. One of the biggest things I take from our first podcast is we were very too serious, too narrowed down. It was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got to understand a little bit of what we go through on a day-to-day basis. We didn't really get into our own lives, but we did cover a little bit of an introduction to these guys and what the podcast is going to be about. But now, what was your guys' take? What do you guys? How did your friends or
my wife gave me so many critiquing. She critiqued me a lot, critiqued all of us.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Shout out to the four of us. You look the most natural. And I said, this guy. I said Efrain does it for a living, and Tucker did it better. All right, I guess. Yeah, so you're gonna see me on this one. Like my hands are gonna be in one spot. I'm gonna try not to hold on to the table and.
Now, by the way, Adam Breeser has
he's got a headset.
He has a headset.
I was gonna say, don't make any time jokes because I swear to God.
Oh, they all showed up on time, guys. I'm unbelievable. We showed up. We like the pros.
Open your phone. Ask me how many missed calls there are.
I can't. Dude's dead.
Okay, so
dude, I work 24. I don't know what to tell.
Okay, let's get back. What do you guys think? What you guys think? Your friends?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have any friends, but from what I heard, you guys liked
Sleep
it.
too much.
His only friends are right here. So.
Yeah.
And we all thought it went well.
Yeah. Pretty good right now. We're looking pretty good. No, I talked to a couple friends, some people that I worked with. One person said that your voice is annoying, so that was cool. Deleted that one. But no, everybody said it went good. I even talked to Monique. Monique said it went pretty good from what she saw the picture. She hasn't watched the video yet, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. I had no complaints. I mean, my family watched it and they said it was pretty good, and they said I didn't talk a lot. And I was like, wow, not here for me. So.
Oh, we actually are here for you, man.
We're here for us.
We're here for you, man.
Okay.
You got to talk about it? Want to talk about it?
Oh God.
All right, Adam?
Same thing. I showed it to some of my friends. They thought it was pretty good. Showed it to some of the guys at work. They thought it was pretty good too. So I told them, I was like, yeah, we're going to be doing this once a week. So if you guys are going to tune in, I got some people to follow the page and everything like that. They liked it, so.
Oh, and by the way, have you guys seen it? We've been keeping up with for everybody at The Naked Raw Truth. All social media platforms. Do we have a TikTok yet?
No, not yet. I just got a render down video is all. It's from the Vimeo that you sent to me. Yeah, I don't know. I just got to talk to my video guy.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I've been hearing a lot of great things about it. My management team. I want to give a big shout out to all the guys out there that are making this possible. By the way, it's been a very hectic for me. I've been on the go. I want to give a big shout out to Tyler for sticking up for me this week at work. I've been busy with everything and the fight coming up and everything. So I had to call off a day. I had to go do a bunch of stuff. So guys.
Wow. That's some news that the other supervisor wasn't told about. That's cool. I guess we're just going to have the right chat.
Well, I guess if you were part of our squad now.
Patrols,
he moved up. He moved up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like now he's on patrols now. What the fuck? Guys, so today I want to dig into a straight point. I'm gonna ask absolutely everybody.
Full blast.
Who is Breezer? Who is Tyler? And who is Tucker? Biggest and most underrated question is, who are you? Me, everybody knows me. I'm a fighter through and through, and sometimes I fought in places where I didn't have to fight, and it got me in trouble. And sometimes I didn't fight, and it got me in trouble. So where do you draw that fine line? So I'm gonna start here with Tyler first. Tyler, who is Tyler? You can take us as back as you want. You can take us as little as you want. But this is, remember, the Naked Raw Truth is straight truth. understanding that we as people go through something in life that's gonna either shape us or break us. We went. Are you okay there?
Yeah, that stuff's terrible. I'll be honest, this is terrible.
It's called coffee.
It'll put some hair
That's
in your chest.
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. So the Naked Raw Truth is a podcast dedicated. By the way, I'm just waiting a little heads up for you guys. I know I'm going off topic, but a little heads up. I am just waiting for next week's cast as Joe Coy might be joining us on.
Joseph?
But not on stage. He won't be on stage, but he will be via remote, so we'll be able to have a conversation. I'm just waiting on his publicist to get back to me. So, guys, another big shout out to Joe Coy.
Absolutely.
So that is the Naked Raw Truth. It has nothing to do with fame, nothing to do with who a person is. It's about what made that person who they are. To me, is who made me. I mean, I had a hard background. Where it came to, I come from Mexico. I don't know if I can really say this, but I illegally came to the U.S. I literally jumped the border and came to the U.S. Allegedly, my friend did. You know.
Yeah.
So I saw somebody, and he was a young little boy, about age 7, and you know that's what kind of made me. My parents wanted their parents wanted a better life for him, and he kind of made it. Like saw the hardships of life, and wanted something different. And I believe the Naked Raw Truth needs that, and I needs to introduce that to the kids today, to the people that are going through on an everyday basis, especially right now. We got so much violence within our communities, and you know, the homeless rate is going up, and I just believe that we need to share a little bit of this. Hey, we're not all perfect, but if we want something better, you just got to work hard. And so you guys can take us as back as you want. I'm really gonna criticize absolutely everybody. And the reason how I'm gonna criticize it, I'll give you guys an example, and I'll talk you guys through this because once again, this is a bunch of guys just bullshitting and having some fun. And the biggest thing for us is we want to be able to share some light into those young lives that are suffering. You know. So for me, is who is Efrain? Efrain's just a guy that doesn't give a fuck and is going to put it all out there, and it's going to live a memorable life, and I'm going to shape everybody. I'm going to shape somebody's life. I'm going to help others, but I am one of these person. I am a people person. If they're happy, I'm happy. But when it's my crew, I'll make sure to take care of my crew. So no matter what, I'm fighting on the 23rd of this month in Mexico City. It takes me to go in there and fight. Yes, it will be me. I will take the physical punishment, but it takes a full team behind me to get me prepared for that moment. So I am a team player, guys. So who is Tyler?
How far back you guys want me to go?
It's up to you, man. What do you want? What do you want them?
I'd say probably far back enough to, you know.
What was the moment that it changed you? What was the determining factor where you?
Thought differently in life.
I'm gonna be here all day.
All right, get ready. Get
Okay.
ready.
All right, hold on. Yeah, get your coffee, guys.
Get ready.
All right, so I'm gonna interview Tyler. He probably doesn't know how far to go take it back, so let me interview him. Tyler.
Okay, let's go.
Give me if you were to describe yourself in junior high and elementary, how would you describe yourself?
I was a little tiny, scrawny little kid. I was a nerd, very nerdy.
Was?
I would say was. I lost the glasses and changed the look, but yeah, definitely a little nerdy kid. Stayed out of trouble. Good little kid.
Okay, that's you. How about your surroundings?
Parents both worked. Younger siblings. As far as like cousins, uncles, aunts, grandparents, alcoholics, drugs, prison, gangs.
Okay, so to elaborate a little bit more on that. Like, I mean, were you guys a family, like very united family? You guys got together all the time, or no?
When I was younger, yeah, we would always hang out with my cousins, my uncles, aunts, and stuff. For any gatherings, it was big parties. It was expected, whatever the occasion was, there was going to be a fight. So I used to tell my friends I'd sell them tickets if they want to hang out with me.
That just sounds like a normal Mexican get-together.
Literally. It was out of the ordinary to see my uncle like high as hell on meth. Rest in peace. But no, yeah, that was normal growing up. It wasn't. I asked my friends what they did over the weekend, and they tell me they didn't have any fights or nothing fun, and I was like, that's boring. Like, come over to my place. You'll see some action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come get
So
your ass kicked in my house.
me knowing Tyler's like kind of like his story, his background story. You know, we mentioned it on the first episode. Tyler was a retired police officer. Like, okay, so now this brings a very good question. How do you have that childhood? Like, so you would go to these parties, hang out with all these cousins. These cousins, were they like your same age now?
No, I had a lot of them were older than I was, so I could see. Obviously, like if I was in elementary school, middle school, they were already high school, if not graduating. But they were, like I said, gangs, drugs.
So why didn't you follow that footstep?
I didn't want to be like them.
Why? How? I mean, how?
I was like, I don't
what
know,
age?
just
What
age? I was pretty young when I saw this. I saw my parents always working and providing for us, and I'd see my other cousins. One of my cousins had no. His mom, he got taken from his mom, whatever. But he didn't have the life that I had. I know they were pretty like envious of us.
Okay, so they were envious of you, but so talk to me or talk to all of us about the little things that, I mean, if I'm hanging out with you and we're friends, and then all of a sudden you start robbing a bike, I'm gonna want to rob another bike with him. Like,
yeah,
so
no, I for us and growing up in Yuma, it's a border town, so it's a lot of bad there, I guess. I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to. I don't know what age I was when I thought about it, but I didn't want my last name to be known just for bad stuff, because that's what it seemed like. It was us being famous in Yuma was us being in the Yuma's Most Wanted. My cousins were always in it. My uncles, aunts, always in it. I'm like, hey, we're famous, but not the right kind. And then hearing stories of like my great grandma, she was like a famous actress and a singer in Mexico, to my family that I know now, and I'm like, what happened? Like all that talent, where's it at now?
Yeah.
They were good criminals. Until they got caught.
Okay, guys, here. The next clip right here is going to be, this is what Tyler used to look like.
Okay. I'll get a photo.
Okay.
I'll get a photo out.
So this is what he used to look like. And now, this is what he, like, so you go from there. Let's continue on your story, right?
Okay.
So you go from there. You didn't want to be known as that guy. So what'd you do?
I stayed good, did everything my parents asked me to do, never got in trouble. I hung out with everybody, though. That was the thing. I never had bullies or nothing. I would hang out with any type of crew in school. It didn't matter if it was like rival gangs. I could go up to each of them and say what's up, hang out. But I always thought ahead, like planned for the future. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, no.
You always had the forethought. Like,
yeah, like what if I do this? What's the consequences of the choices that I'm making now?
Mm-hmm.
But I had that since I was very young.
So what would you tell the fans and people that are watching you today? I mean, I say fans because eventually that's our goal. So we gotta forsake it, speak it forward. So one of the things that I say is, what would you tell a little kid that's
what I tell my kids now that I wish someone would have told me when I was younger is don't care. Like when you're in school, my kids are in elementary school, but I always tell them the same thing. Don't worry about the little stuff. Like when you're wearing to school, don't care. Don't care what it looks like. Don't care what other kids say. If you want to do something and friends say it's not cool, don't worry about your friends. Like the kids you have, the friends you have right now in school, you're probably not gonna talk to any of them once you're older. I don't know any of you guys. All my old friends from elementary, middle, high school, I don't talk to any of them. We all grown up, chose our own different paths in life. But that's one thing I always tell my kids now, because they seem to worry a lot on what their friends think, what's cool, what's not cool. So that's one thing I tell all kids that I know now. Just do you, have fun, enjoy being a kid, because once you're older, it sucks.
Welcome to the club, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's so far as what we got an understanding. Let me do a little recap. So you were a nerdy kid. You pretty much hung out with your family. You saw your hard work and determination your parents put in to make sure that you guys had a better life. Now, I mean, it still doesn't add up. You go from being you go from seeing this, your everyday, what I see. When I see success, like, so I wanted success in my life. And it came to a point where I told myself, I want to hang around with successful people, big entrepreneurs. To all my friends that are out there, you entrepreneurs, man, all this is becoming true because I see how much work you guys do. And you guys just take chances and don't care. So that's how it rubs off on me. When you were looking at violence and stuff, I mean, I'm from that stuff.
It's almost the same thing as what you just said. What they're doing is motivating you. What my family was doing was motivating me to do the opposite. I didn't want to be like them. I wanted to do good. Like I said, I wanted my last name to be known for good. I never did drugs. I never did anything like that. Both my younger brothers never did anything like that as well. So I think because I was so good and they saw a positive role model, they stayed clean themselves. Versus my cousins that had younger siblings, they all kind of chose that lifestyle.
Okay. So if I was to go back to high school, like your senior year, and I just randomly picked one guy and I was like, hey, describe Tyler, what would you say?
I was a lot of my friends didn't like me. Just as far as
you don't say.
no, not like that. Just as far as like school wise, ethics of learning and stuff, I was that kid that carried a pen at school.
This is Naked Raw Truth right now. You gotta be.
I
need the
I
truth.
was. Everyone liked me. I was cool, but I wasn't a popular kid for sure. I was in drumline. I was in choir, cross country. I did all
you
that.
were popular.
I was not popular.
By the way, guys, you guys can ask questions.
No,
too as
definitely
well,
not
Thank you for
popular.
permission.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, you guys are being quiet over there. I'm like, God.
Well,
But-
he's talking.
No, I was just. I mean, I was liked by a lot, but I was that kid that didn't have to study, just show up to class, take tests, and get A's. Like I was very nerdy. I didn't.
What's that like?
It was nice. My friends hated it, but
Yeah.
it was nice.
So, okay, so you kind of peered around the bush. Did they like you or not like you?
Well, it's a nuanced question. You said, "Who are you?" It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
load this
I
shot.
could tell you.
no, no.
I could tell you about last night. I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, no, wait,
Yeah.
wait,
Yes.
pump the brakes. All right, so I don't want to feed you guys off and run off to the street, you know. So one of the biggest things is, so your friends, you become. What about college? Like, obviously, did you do any sports? You do anything?
I was in cross country. I said drumline, choir. I didn't go to college though. I didn't have plans to go to college.
Did he just say choir?
did you miss that the first time?
Yeah, I was like, the whole time I'm thinking he's saying something else, but I'm like,
So fun fact is Tyler actually loves musicals.
bro,
Yeah, like being in them and dancing and
really?
yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I got a friend in Disney.
I bet you loved the movie Coco, didn't you?
I like all the Disney movies.
We don't talk about Bruno though.
Yeah.
all those songs go hard.
So I know that, I mean, just from you and me talking, I know
You
that,
and I?
you know, no, it's actually me and you. That after high school, I mean, I know that you didn't go to college or anything like that. And I mean, what did you do to start your process? Because like you said, same thing as me. You knew from a young age that you wanted to be a cop.
Yeah.
So how did you initiate that process?
So I didn't even. So out of high school, I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't have a plan to get there. So as soon as I got out of high school, I started working. I was like, I need to work. I need to make money. So that's what I started doing. I started working at Fry's, pushing grocery carts, making $7.30 an hour. I was part time, so from my house to the Fry's was across the whole city.
Mhm.
So I was barely making like $80 a paycheck, my gas money back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I loved it. It was work,
It
even though I
started
made
that
very
process.
little. Yeah, so I was doing that. Then I got offered a better job working for Napa. My little brother's the one that actually was going into the Explorer program for the sheriff's office. Told me about it, and I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. So I go, like it, and then that's where it started. I had all the deputies rooting for me every time we'd have a meeting. They would always treat me differently.
Yeah.
They treat me like one of their own. They kept telling me that you're gonna be a deputy. We like you. You're gonna do this job with us.
And that's a huge process. I mean, for everybody at home that doesn't know about it, Explorers program is something that from the age of, what is it, I think like 14 until
Yeah.
you're 20.
Yeah.
So from the ages of 14 to 20, basically it's almost like volunteer services, but on your weekends or times off or whatever they set, you're essentially going to police academy and you're learning about the basics, right? So they have you go through the whole process of like, it's actually pretty cool. They'll have you, get in a vehicle on a closed course and, mock pulling somebody over, that we can get used to that, report writing, just the kind of typical things that you can expect as a police officer, and these officers or deputies in his case, like they mentor you to help you get to that level to where when you turn 21, then the department absolutely will take you on. So it just helps that process. So that's just a little insight.
Yeah, so I did that. I was there like a month or two, and then I became a sergeant for them. So then I started teaching the classes. I was doing the physical training. I started helping with all that until I turned 20. And then they hired me for the jail. So I started in the jail, worked there 6 years. And towards the end of the jail period, I was part deputy too.
Did you like the jail? I mean, was that something that you were in there and you were like, okay, I'm kind of comfortable here? Or did you already know as soon as you got the jail, it's just a stepping stone?
Yeah, all the deputies told me, they're like, Because I was like, I don't want to work the jail. I want to be a deputy. I want to be with you guys. And they're like, well, look, all of us started in the jail. The best deputies come from the jail. It's a stepping stone. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. Got you.
You put your time in.
So I put my time in. I did every single unit you can work in the jail, from working with the kids being tried as adults to the special needs to women to the very, very violent people.
And as an 18, 19-year-old kid, going to jail, especially in Yuma, that's like a scary place.
Yeah, I was a little. I'm not too big now.
Well, don't worry, they all saw it.
Yeah, I'll find more photos for you guys. But I was super scrawny back then. I was like 40, 50 pounds lighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was muscle, straight muscle.
Did you ever have anybody on the yard like try to step up to you and
all the time,
call out your name and ask you, hey, who are you?
Yeah, definitely. I remember one specific moment. I was newer officer in the jail. Took like 30, 40 dudes to the rec yard. They're working out. And these are like big, yoked up prison dudes. Face, everything's tatted up.
Okay.
No, not that. And I remember two of them they like kept doing laps around me. And it's just me. In the jail, you have no weapons. It's just a radio and some cuffs. It's you talking in your hands. So I ain't fighting 40 dudes. Like, there ain't no way.
39, but not 40.
Yeah, maybe. So these two dudes kept walking around. One passes me, reads my nameplate, sees my last name, and then I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What's going on, right? Here we go, right? So my family's in bad things. So I'm like, who did one of my uncles piss off, or who did one of my uncles? Maybe his daughter was with one of my cousins or something. Someone's mad at someone.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking the worst. So he walks around, comes back up to me. He's like, "That's your last name?" And I'm like, "Yes." What's up?
That's what it's printed.
Yeah. We have a problem, you know? Not show him you're scared. You gotta be like, "What's up?"
You want to talk papas or what?
Yeah. So he's like, "No, it's nothing like that. Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Well, then what is it?" He's like, "Who's Psycho?" And I was like, "That's my uncle. What's up?" Like, he's been dead like for like 20 years, but if you remember his name, like, what's up? And he's like, "No, like I said, it's not like that." "What is it?" He said, "Your uncle used to mentor us. We were all the little kids. Your uncle used to tell us, don't do this lifestyle."
So he was OG.
Yeah, he was an OG for sure. And he was telling me, he's like, "Your uncle his nickname was Psycho. Like, everyone on the streets to this day knows your uncle's name. Like, they remember him. But he used to say that my uncle would tell them, like, this lifestyle ain't for kids, you know, like, don't be doing it." But obviously they didn't listen.
Yeah.
And then the guy turned around and announced it to the rest of the fucking rec yard. "Anybody have a problem with this guy? You got a problem with everyone else in here. Like, don't fuck with this guard, because his family can fight." And then he was like, "What's your dad's name?" And he knew my dad. He's like, "Yeah, if your uncle, if we had to go fight somewhere, your dad had to be there, your uncle had to be there, and we're throwing hands. Like, they could fight, your family could fight." And then I was like, "Yeah, of course we could fight." We don't gotta test that out right now, but yeah, I could fight.
He went back inside. He's like,
Yeah, literally. They were big guys.
I gotta go change.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I never had. My career in the jail was great. Never did anything wrong.
Okay, well, let me be the devil's advocate on this one. Now, on the yard, you're good, but what about at home? Now everybody's like, "Oh, he's a narc."
Yeah. So my grandma hated me. It was 50-50. It just what?
Some stories about her.
Yeah, my grandma, R.I.P. grandma. But I had a lot of R.I.P.s. But my grandma. So there was times since my uncle was in the bad lifestyle. The sheriff's office would raid her house. They'd kick the door in. The SWAT team would kick the door in and go get my uncle.
Yeah.
So when I became a sheriff or in the jail, I remember I'd go over and she would hate seeing me because she'd call me sheriff.
Yeah.
She'd get the fuck out. But yeah, not so nice.
How'd you take it?
I didn't care. It's my grandma. I don't give a fuck.
But how about your cousins? Your like.
Well, at that time, I had a cousin that was in prison, getting out, and growing up, he was always bigger than me. He was like roughing me up and stuff. So I remember one day I was gonna go visit my grandma from work in uniform, and I heard he was there, and I was like, shit, like, this ain't gonna be well. Like, I became the opposite of what he is, you know. So I get there, and I'm as tall as him now. His voice, he didn't go through puberty or something, but I was like thinking he was gonna be this way bigger guy than me from when we were kids, and I was like, I'll fucking kick his ass. Like, there ain't no way. I ain't that kid no more, you know. So I talked to him. I was like, "What's up? Like, how do you feel about this?" And he's like, "No, like, I'm proud of you. Like, you didn't choose the rest of the past of like everything else we did. You didn't do it. Like, you did what you said. You're gonna change our last name."
That part's important if you think about it, right? So, as a younger kid, I mean, like you said, most of your family was in that lifestyle of criminal life, gang activity, whatever the case may be. So, like, at a certain age, you know, you probably had to sit down and talk to yourself, like, how do you break that generational curse, right? So, you know, your last name might have, you know, associated with criminals or whatever, but you decided at a certain point, like, that's not going to be me, and it's not going to be for my kids, it's not going to be for my family. And sticking to that, like, that's part of that, you know, persistency that we talk about. That you determine at that point, like, it's just not going to be my story.
Yeah, no, and then just in general, like, hearing the stories of my parents, what they had to do, like, my dad wasn't a good kid either. Growing up, he was in that lifestyle as well, but he met my mom, straightened up, started working full-time jobs, both of them, so seeing them work every day and us being at home, taking care of ourselves while they worked, I didn't want to let them down either. Like, they sacrificed, obviously, their lives, whatever dreams they had for us to have better lives. So
yeah, absolutely.
I didn't want to let them down as much as I didn't want to let my little brothers down, myself. I feel like I did well, though.
What do you, so there's a lot of kids out there that are suffering right now, that are going through this separation and this whole society being against them because they're judging both how they're dressed, they're not getting presents, they're feeling too much depression is growing by the minute, right? Here in the States, what would you tell these kids that are out there right now that want to see change? How do you? I mean, obviously, when it comes to me, you just decide and you just go after it, right? What would you take? What do you take from that you can share with everybody?
Just be persistent. I don't know how to explain that.
It's not gonna happen overnight.
Yeah, it's gonna take time. You're gonna definitely hear a lot of no's before you hear some yeses. There's they say life's like a roller coaster, so there's a lot of ups and downs. Some people have more downs than they do have ups, but
when that up is there, though,
yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. But you're not the only one going through whatever you're going through. Everybody, I know everyone in here, we've all had a different work week wise, or our week this past week since the first episode. I'm sure we've all had some new experiences or some good times, bad times. Just how everyone else listening in right now might be going through different points in their lives. Some might be on their highs, some might be on their lows, but it all will work out for sure.
It all balances out.
Yeah, it all balances out. Yeah,
but you have to stick to it, though.
Yeah, definitely. Those kids that are not sure what they want to do or have a feeling maybe they want to try something, don't worry about what your friends say. Like I said, they're just opinions. Do what you want to do, what makes you happy.
If you're not sure what you want to do, you're at least sure of what you don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to fit in. Definitely don't try to fit in.
And like I would say, like, it's as cliche as it sounds. You know, having everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So like, all the stuff that I've been through, right? You know, I try to keep that in the back of my mind. What, you know, and at some point in time, whether it's near when something happened to me or if it's down the road, like something I always see or notice something and it clicks and I go, oh, well, like maybe I didn't do this because if that happened, I wouldn't be right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like, that's as cliche as it sounds. Like I said, I always end up finding, okay, well, if this didn't happen or this did happen, I wouldn't be here, or this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have met this person. I would, like, all those like departments that didn't hire me, I wouldn't have met any of you three. Mm-hmm. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, that's how I look at it, right? Like all the experiences that we've had working together. So, you know, if the stuff that I wanted to have worked out when I wanted it to, it wouldn't have led me, like I said, meeting the three of you guys, I would not be standing here right now. So like, again, that's for me, like another reason that none of that stuff worked out when it did is because, you know, wherever you were at is where you're supposed to be in that moment. That's how I was looking at it.
It doesn't always feel like that, and you feel like, you know, this isn't where I want to be, but for whatever reason, like, you're supposed to be there.
You know what? Believe it or not, I actually was talking about it to somebody. I don't know who told me this, and I looked it up. You know, on one day, a person woke up late because his alarm didn't go off. Another one dropped his coffee on him, had to go back home. Another one got on the wrong Uber, and they're alive today because of those actions that they did, because they missed. They were supposed to be in the Twin Towers that day.
That story.
You know, you say that, like my grandfather was in the Army, and you know, during the Korean War, they went out in town, and he ended up getting in like a car accident. I won't say what the circumstances leading to it, right? But he ended up getting thrown from a vehicle and like broke his leg, and he couldn't go on the first deployment where they were going to go. Most of the dudes in his unit got killed on that deployment, but he was stuck back because he broke his leg.
So guys, everybody that's going out there, going through something, just know that no matter what everybody's going through something. Some people are better at hiding it than others, but the most important thing is, and now I'm gonna touch on this. The more important thing is to be able to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to do it. I'm a first one. I'm a shut up, keep working. Especially all my brothers. You know, I would always tell myself, my brothers were in gangs. My brothers were really bad people, and well, they still are, but they're locked up. But one of the biggest things that I take from that, I never wanted to talk to any of my brothers because people got hurt, and I didn't want to hurt people. So I never wanted to do it. And then I became a fighter, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? So, but I never wanted to express myself. But sometimes maybe find somebody. We actually talked about this during work. Is a man okay to talk about his feelings?
Never.
Well, do you remember that video we talked about? This was like a few weeks ago. It said I can't remember what the guy's name was, but it was on Instagram, and he said, "Don't worry about anybody else. Always ask the happiest dude in the room how he's doing."
And he's doing the worst.
Yeah.
Generally
usually.
speaking, yeah, right.
Usually.
So I mean, everybody, guys, and I was talking to Steve, and Steve will tell you one day we're gonna have him on here. He's once again a very successful entrepreneur, owns a grow company and very lucrative business. But one of the biggest things is there is a dark zone at every single level. No matter what tax bracket you're at, every single level has a dark zone. Okay, guys. So don't think that because you have the millions, you have like you don't have nothing. And to capitalize on that is, I've been to Mexico. I seen people without windows in their houses. They're made out of adobe, like, you know, very broke. And I see kids smiling and laughing. And sometimes we don't stop to realize where we are in life, because I'm pretty sure that all of us are not where we want to be. But we can sit back and be like today, like, God damn, like I wanted to be here not long ago. So just pretty much giving yourself that kudos, that, like, you know, pat on the back. And I mean, sometimes it's not gonna come from everybody, but just know that you are worth it and you're doing everything possible, and just keep fighting. So back to your story. So you go from young kid, you go to now. How is the police? How was it like being an officer?
Loved it. Great times. A lot of great times.
Lucky son bitch.
Did you ever get pulled over? You ever pull somebody over and somebody like test you?
All the time.
Why didn't you take off your badge and fight him?
It's not about that. Better than that.
Okay.
No,
guys,
definitely. Think of the consequences, right? No, definitely. They aren't worth that. They're going to pay my bills if I do that. So, no, I loved it, though. Great times. A lot of good times.
So, any stories you want to share?
I got too many stories.
Okay, guys. So,
I was going to say.
you know, there's some situations that pretty much shape your life to be either dramatic or to be okay. So I was a fighter already. I won the Ultimate Fighter in 2008. 2012, I had my daughter. In 2012, I also was the first time I separated from my baby's mother. We get along great. She's a great mom, so I'll give her kudos to that. But one of the things is I moved out and I had a lot of toys. And this thing shaped my life forever. I had a lot of toys when it comes to sandrails, motorcycles, and everything. And one day my daughter goes to sleep. She's 8 months. I had just moved out to a new place in South Phoenix, and this shaped my life forever. I think that I'd never in my life want to go through this again. At the middle of the night, my tooth was hurting for some odd reason. Once again, going back to whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen, because my tooth was fucking hurting. So I'm like, at 2 a.m, I took a and it, like, air went in, and I was in pain. So I went downstairs, a 2-story house. So I'm getting water. I heard a noise. I kind of go back up. I'm like, whatever. I heard a noise again, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then I grabbed one. At the time, I had bulletproof vests, machine guns, everything. And
Bullet resistant.
Yeah.
Not bulletproof.
yeah. So then all of a sudden, so then I go down. I grab a 38 special, which is a revolver. Everything was happening. I didn't know what's going on, right? All of a sudden, I see there's two guys. There's two guys going around my truck, and I'm like, well, whatever. It has insurance. If we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. So I'm like trying to get downstairs, and then all of a sudden, I heard my door, like, my window breaks. Boom. Two guys. I have two guys in my house now. I'm on the 2nd story, and all I do is I just pull my gun on the other side, and I shot twice. This is where it shaped my life forever, and I think I will forever. I will go down. And all my friends that know me from that time, you can go to my house, and you can see all the bulletproof holes everywhere, and they can vouch for it. where they started shooting back, I swear to God, that was the time where, like, it became real. Like, your life flashes before your eyes. I was so nervous, so scared, but I was so at peace, and I knew I was going to die that day, but I knew that it was for a purpose. You know, I was okay. Like, I was okay. They're shooting, I'm shooting. To the point where I didn't even know how many shots I shot. I didn't know where my phone was at.
I'd imagine 6.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, but how many times, like, so I'm shooting and I'm like, well, you gotta save your ammo. Like they're gonna run up, they're gonna get, and all my thought was like, they're not gonna get to my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, there was like you can't. And next thing you know, I sit there. Like, after we shot, like, we sit there, and I'm thinking in my head, it's a waiting game.
Yeah.
Like, they're downstairs. I'm like, I'm gonna wait here until cops get here, and then I'll be good. Well, they never showed up. It was they had a lot of calls.
The cops didn't show up in South Phoenix? Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah. Well,
That's crazy.
and I believe that changed my life, because after that I was very antsy, and I was always like I would hear noises, like I was in my backyard, like trying, like, what the fuck. And I mean, you guys go through special training when it comes to that. Like, I was just a normal kid that I just fought, you know. It was like, I come from the hood, but the hood doesn't teach you. Like, the hood tells you, like, they give you kudos when you do bad stuff, you know. He's like, oh yeah, you're cool, and those are your stripes, right? So
Yeah.
what do you, like, that shaped my life. Anything shape your life? I never want to be in a gunfight ever again. I hope I'm not, and if I do, I would like to have you guys around. But
Yeah, because I'd love to get shot at. Thank you.
but I mean, that don't you want to be a cop?
I mean, I've already been shot at, and I don't even get paid by the city. So
Yeah.
to me, it's I don't know. As bad as it sounds, like, I'm in the same kind of mindset as you, right? In that moment, it's like, well, I might die here, but it is what it is. If I die, I die. But I mean, if I was in your situation, it'd be the same thing. Like, if I die, it's not going to be because I sat there, you know, curled up in a ball when my daughter's in the other room.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
Well, and I think that's a more important question. Like, what instead of, you know, getting Tyler's life story from when he was born up until right this minute.
Yeah.
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 You know, like, more pivotal life points. Like, we can give, like, little backgrounds and stuff like that. But I think more importantly, like, you know, like, however many pivot points your life has, where it's just like, oh, this is where this changed, and then this is where this changed. Whether it was, you know, from experiencing that to having kids to, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think those, more importantly than your background, obviously your background shapes who you are, but more importantly, I think it's those points in life. There's a few that I can pinpoint, and I can just think, okay, that's when shit changed for me.
Yeah.
So.
But the thing that you had mentioned in that kind of situation, one thing I like to think about all the time. I read this this quote, essentially. It's kind of like a story. So when a big storm comes, right, say like a blizzard, a herd of cattle runs away from the storm. They don't want to be in it. They run away. So you'll see the cattle of bulls, cows, whatever the case may be, they'll start running away from the storm. But if you look at something different like buffalo or bison, in the middle of a storm, they're running to the storm. So they know essentially that it's bad, right? But they know that if they go through the storm and they go to it, then it's going to be easier for them to get away from it. If you keep running away from it, it's just going to constantly chase you. But if you show up into the storm and you face it, then whatever happens no matter what, but it's done and over with quicker.
And then when the next storm comes,
you know exactly what to do.
Yep.
In a simplifying it, for fighting, and I realize this, you know, there's two types of people out in the world. There's sheep and gazelles. Either you're waking up in the morning and you're being a sheep and you're running away from your insecurities, your trust, your relationships, your problems, your tax creditors, people, like everything. You're running away.
Yeah.
Or you're waking up in the morning and you're like a gazelle. You're waking up, you're trying to achieve goals, dreams, no matter what. Guys, I am first one to ever say that I am so scared when I'm going to fight. But as my training goes along, like, I make these guys my like monsters in my head. And when the first time I ever get hit, then you realize, like, he's nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going through life and you're going through these pivotal points that you were mentioning, it's good to understand and see your life and sometimes realize everything, but then make those pivotal points. Those are where they changed you for better, for who you are today. So take that and run with it, because you're gonna either wake up in the morning, you're gonna be a sheep, or you're gonna be a gazelle. Mm-hmm. And all these guys are firm believers, you know. I got Adam here. Adam is a guy that wakes up in the morning and was like, I'm gonna be better, and did it. Tyler, I'm gonna be better, and is doing it. To you too.
When he wakes up.
You mean when I got home at 5 a.m.
Wait, what?
Got home at 5 a.m.
wow.
Did you?
Yeah, sure did.
What time did you get home?
Oh, I went to bed around 7 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, wow.
Why'd you go to bed at 7?
Well, because I have to get off. I have shit to do when I get home.
Yeah.
I got to shower.
Gross, dude.
Dude,
Tell us how you get off.
Go, come on.
You don't have to tell us how you got off. That's gross.
Wow.
All right. So you go into the police. Now I don't have Deputy Tyler here. Who do I have?
What do you mean? Yeah.
We got Tyler.
You have
security
Tyler
guard.
now, yes.
Why?
Sergeant.
What? Yeah, Sergeant. Chose to have a family, have a baby, moved out here. There's a lot of politics in law enforcement. I'm sure in every job field there's politics. There's a lot in the police force. There's a lot of politics. So got warned. I'm not gonna mention who. Family friend warned me. I also work for the department. Said, hey, I heard you're moving, you're leaving, you're trying to leave. If it's true and the higher ups find out, it's not gonna be good. And I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't tell anybody. Literally, like right before I put my 2-week notice in, they put me in an investigation and got rid of me. So yeah, it happens. I know I didn't do anything wrong, but everyone else doesn't believe me, or the department and everything. It sucks because through your whole career, I'm sure you've heard this already. We're a family. We're a family. We're a family. We got your back. Everyone on the street, watch your back with them, but we're blood. We'll bleed for each other.
Yeah.
And it sucked because I did it almost 10 years, and at the end of the day, I had more trust in those gangbangers on the street because they it was respect, right? Over years of time arresting them and dealing with them, and one day they were a suspect, and next time they were a victim. Just building that little bond, even though I didn't trust them with my life, like never. But it sucked that at the end of the day, the people that were supposed to have my back they didn't. Yeah, the people on the street would vouch for me better than the people that I worked with. And it sucked because that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
To get told you can't, and to push you out, and then kind of not get stuck, but I could do it in another state, but I can't. I'm not gonna leave my daughter and my wife. She has kids with someone else, but so they can't move. So I'm stuck. So gotta do what I can do now to make money and do what I like to do.
So you're calling us stuck?
I mean,
where your stuck pivotal point in life?
I wouldn't say stuck.
I mean, not me. Remember, you guys said I'm not part of you guys anymore. So.
No,
Yeah, patrol guy.
Oh, I might be, man. Oh, never mind. Okay, so what? How do you have so much power? I mean, obviously, I fought in the biggest organizations in the world, and now I'm going to I go back to basics. Yeah. I just want a reality TV show, and then all of a sudden you're fighting back again in a crowd of 1,000 people, 2,000. How do you? Or what would you tell people? Like, how do you go from having so much power to nothing?
Yeah, I went from being a cop, doing it all, to when I moved out here. I was a stay-at-home dad for a bit, and then I started working. I was picking up trash like at events. Yeah, that was something else. Just some of the people, they would throw trash right in front of you for you to pick it up because they're racist or whatever the case may be. They thought they were better than you, and I'm like, in my head, you have no idea what I've done, who I am, anything about me. I went from that. I worked at Edible Arrangements for like Valentine's week one time, my wife and I, just to make money.
Me and my wife.
I was just about to say.
Sold burritos to make money. I've done a lot. I've hustled. I'm good at it. I'm good at talking, selling stuff. But
how about your family? How did your family take it?
I want to touch on that though. So one thing that like he's mentioning, you go from doing all this. And then now, I don't want to ever downplay someone's work, right? But you go from doing this job to now you feel like, oh, I'm doing all this. I'm way below where I was.
My potential's way up here, and now I'm down here.
Yeah, and again, you're not better than anybody else, but it's like you want to be like, well, I was doing way better stuff than this. And so I think what I resonate with that, right? Like getting out of the military was you have like something. It's like an identity crisis, right? You're like, I've identified with this for X amount of time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like you get out, and I know my transition out of the Marines, I had that. So, I knew what I wanted to do, but then, I had a lot of adversity come my way, and it was just kind of like I went from being up here, and then I'm just like down here for the longest time.
Like
right?
a nobody.
Exactly.
So you feel like.
Yeah. So did you go through a depression zone?
Oh, yeah.
I would say no, but my wife would say yes.
Yeah.
No, definitely. For 2 years straight, every week, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'd drink a bottle of liquor. Mm-hmm. Each day was one bottle by myself. I wouldn't get drunk or nothing. I would just get on like a good buzz, and I go to sleep. I didn't think I was depressed. I just listened to my music, my depressing music. She would tell me. She would tell you guys it's depressing, but
she says all the songs I like are depressing.
Yeah.
Why are you so depressed?
Yeah.
No, like that's you know, and like he said, I cling to not so great vices. Like, you know, I caught myself drinking a little bit more. Like, we'd get home from work and I would just, you know, not getting like blackout drunk or anything like he said, but I would just drink until I slept because I wasn't sleeping. So I need, and not that that's good sleep by any means, but it was like that's the only way I could get to sleep, because if I woke up in the middle of the night, which I always do, I'm not going back to sleep. So I need something to try to keep me to sleep. So I think, like I really resonate with that, because I can tell you right now, I've been the lowest of the low. Like, you know, especially like I said, getting out of the Marines, and then, you know, not long after that, you know, going through all that job stuff, being rejected, dealing with that constantly, and then went through a really bad breakup. So it was just one thing after the other.
Let's not talk about bad breakups.
Yeah. but no, like, and again, like I said, clinging to bad vices, you know, and you pretty much, like, I put myself on autopilot. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, you know, he could probably say the same thing. That's how it felt like. I'm just going through the motions. Getting up, go to work, go to the gym, come home, go to sleep, do the same thing the next day.
But in your head, you're not going like further down than what you are, right? So like I've been through the same thing, you know, bad breakups, whatever the case may be, have an identity crisis, try to figure out what I am. Knowing my potential's up here, but I'm here. So like I've been in those shoes too, and you know, I think as bad as it sounds, like as men, I think that's what we revert to, is just drinking. Again, it's not to get drunk. Like I think I've been drunk like 3 times in my life, and I just don't like being not being able to like control my emotions or thoughts or who I am, right? Mm-hmm. So, but that's like a scapegoat for me. It was the same way, but I knew I wasn't going further down, right? So that's the other part though that you were talking about, is like your wife thought you were depressed. I didn't think I was depressed.
I didn't think I was depressed. She would tell me all the time I was. But
and I think he's gonna be murdered, guys. So
that's okay.
He had some stuff to do, and he has to pick up his wife in 8 minutes, and it's probably about 25 minutes to get there. So.
She's got snacks.
It's okay.
We'll send her an Uber.
Yeah.
We'll send her an Uber. The Naked Rush will pay her for an Uber.
Also, to touch base on that, don't hype your head up, Ash, but after everything that you've been through, like to have that solid wife that is stuck through your back, like that is wife goals.
Yes.
Again, don't take it to your head, Ash.
It's my ride or die. It's my ride or die.
You know what? I will go budge in on that, because I told them, I took both of them together. It was beautiful. The first time I ever went and hung out over there, is like my kids were running with their kids, and they were very welcoming and they're very family oriented. Yeah. And this is where, like, I just saw the perfect wife and the perfect husband. You know, it's like somebody who, like, without, and I say it like that because it takes a lot for a man to accept other children. Yeah. Because I was raised by a stepfather, you know. But like his values, he didn't really care or anything. He was just very welcoming. And the fact is, everything he does revolves around. Once again, don't take it to your head, but it's like it really revolves around you and your family. So kudos for that. And great job.
She's absolutely an amazing woman. I know we give her shit all the time and whatnot. Oh yeah, motherfucker. I know that, dude. I know that we give her shit, Ash, but absolutely an amazing woman for sure. Yeah. And it's like you had said, you know, being around the first time I hung out with them. It was just like it was so easy, and it's like these are the people I want to be around, right? So like I brought my daughter over, and Tyler and his wife, and they acted like it was their daughter, and vice versa. Like asked Tyler, dude, his daughter is in love with me. Yeah, I'm in love with her. That's my best friend right there. So it's like it's the same. Yeah, you're not getting that spot. I promise you. I promise you. But it's just like those type of people, and the same with Breeser when our kids are around him. Like Breezer's just that uncle. Like the kid loves his niece more than anything in this world, which is absolutely awesome. That's my princess.
You know, he never used to say Theo until he hung out with Mexicans.
Oh no, when I was in the military, they called me Theo Breezer. You know what I mean?
So now he's gonna start saying I love Edgar.
I love Edgar. Hey guys, so that's a little bit of Tyler's backstory now. Tyler, I mean, obviously, we have built the bond not only through this podcast, but I believe through the outside. When I say I got your back, that means I got your back. Absolutely. When my loyalty is unmeasured, obviously I have a lot of acquaintance, but my friends are small. My group is very small, and I would like to consider you one of my actual friends. Like you guys are actually some of my people that I hang out with, and if you guys call, no matter what, I would always show up, you know. Except if it's at work and it's fucking early. Yeah. Like, I might not. You know. Guys, so on the comments below, I would like for y'all. Obviously, this is through. We will check it and we will discuss it next time. If you have any questions, doubts, or concerns on Tyler, what would you ask him? What would you want to know on his life? Obviously, we recapped on those pretty much childhood and his adult, and now the family man, the hard worker. Obviously, how would you rate your life, and what would you tell everybody, no matter what?
Myself, I would say I've had more lows than highs for sure. Planned my whole life out, and not planned it out, but I always had set goals for myself, and at the end of the day, to get it all taken sucks. But like just because everything goes bad doesn't mean it can get even worse. I mean, it can get worse, but just because everything goes bad doesn't mean it'll stay like that, or your life's gonna be shitty the rest of your life.
But there is a saying, like your life can change in 1 second, right?
Definitely, yeah. I can tell you a lot of those stories. Last night I thought I was gonna die. That's
okay. Tell what happened last
right,
night.
Last night, since as I brought it up, last night when my wife and I were gonna have some alone time, right?
My wife.
I go to the room, right? Get the baby to go with the sister. Go to the room, waiting for my wife. My back starts hurting. Right?
My back.
And it's not like my back, like I hurt my spine or anything. It's like my side. And I know that feeling. It's the worst feeling ever. I had a kidney stone. I was passing a kidney stone. And they say it's the male equipment. No, I was laying on the bed, like, crying.
I know, but I could
screaming.
I told you to get it looked at.
Yeah. I was on the bed, like, Ashley, like, yelling her name. Nope, you'd have thought. I could
figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. And then she comes up, she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, my back. Like, take me to the hospital now. Yeah, I ended up passing the stone. Oof. But they say it's the same equivalent pain to a woman having a baby. I say it's worse.
Dude, I've had a incy-wincy stone come out, and it dropped me to my knees, and I started crying.
Yeah, that's how this is like my third or fourth one. My point
terrible.
to that, when they say that having a baby is worse, I say no, because a girl chooses to have a baby, right?
Yeah,
I didn't choose to put that in there and make it come out.
I mean, you did by not drinking enough water.
I drink a lot of water.
Not enough.
It's in my soda. It's in my beer.
Yeah. It's in my beer.
Yeah. That's my water intake right there.
Yeah. Drink Coors Light, dude.
It's the same thing.
It's just water.
No, what else can we speak about right now?
Well, one of the things is, so guys, that was last night. We did a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Check out some of these pictures these guys fucking did.
Oh, wait, hang on. I got it.
No, wait.
We're going to put it on the screen. We'll put it on the screen.
It'll be on the actual live one. Look at these pictures, man.
This
You
is
guys are a bunch of horrible.
The screenshot last night is just one FaceTime between four guys doing vastly different things at that moment.
Yeah, so guys, it's been I wanted to recap a little bit on everything that has happened, guys. No matter what you go through in life, there will be always, Tupac said it, right, in a song, after every dark night, there's a bright sunshine ahead. So guys,
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah. So one of the biggest things, guys, we have Pinnacle Peaks, that are things that are going to change our lives and make us a better individuals, better people. I think that everything that I've been through in life, I've traveled the whole world. When I say it's pretty much the whole world, I've seen things that I've never. But if it wasn't because one man, Pepe Moreno, grabbed me, made me a wrestler, and I refused because I was like, I don't have a ride. And next thing you know, he would have picked me up. He gave a lot of these kids an opportunity. Now I'm paying it forward because I know a lot of you guys out there that are out there. You guys are 1-0 from saying F everything. And just don't give up. It's just keep going, keep striving.
Never fucking quit.
Never quit. And the biggest thing is, I kept telling these guys, I'm going to fight one more time and I'm going to call it quits. Mm-hmm. Guys, you never know. I would have quit before and I wouldn't have got this amazing contract. Like, it's just... What is that saying we were talking about? Like when the guy's digging like gold, and he kind of stops, and it was just like on the other side. So just put one foot over the other and keep going. Try to be better. Obviously, sometimes it feels that like fuck, you keep going down and keep going down, keep going down. Just put the shovel down a little bit. Stop, breathe. Think about what you want. Think about your goals and place your goals out there. Write them down. Write your goals down. Put them on the wall. Say, goals, and then put your needs and your wants. And on one side, put all your needs to achieve those goals.
Yeah.
And then put on the other bracket, put all your wants. Now, if it's a want that, like, okay, I want to be successful. I want to be, okay, let's go out to the bar and buy 2 bottles. Is wants or need? It's a need. It's a want. Like, what I want is my goals, and nothing's gonna deviate from that. And you guys are a prime example, all of you guys. And we will recap this next week as we get to explore a little bit on Tucker's life. We get in depth, and he has a week to prepare to who is Tucker.
That motherfucker.
Who is Tucker?
Who is Tucker?
Like
I'm him.
give him a brief, a short version of. I mean, who are you?
Honestly, someone that's kind of gone through a whole bunch of stuff in life, as well as after like childhood. Like I preferenced it last week. You know, my mom was addicted to drugs all my life and used that to shelter me away from my family. So I didn't really have my whole family around me for the longest time. But even at a younger age, like, you know, the same thing that Tyler said, I knew that I knew what I didn't want to be, right? I didn't want to be a drug addict like my mom. I didn't want to not be around family, because to me, family was everything, and still is. And just like you had said, that circle gets a lot smaller the older that you get, for sure. But the people that are in that circle, you know, it's like it's something that keeps you moving forward, essentially. As long as you have those right people around you and whatnot, then that's great. But as far as me, like I said, I mean, went through a whole bunch of lows. For sure went through a whole bunch of lows. To me, a little bit of highs, but the highs that were there, like, and they still are great. So just having that, you know, that persistency and continuously trying to move forward is the biggest thing. So, but like I stated last week, you know, kind of had the same trials and tribulations. So,
Okay, what's give us one Pinnacle Peak. Like, what is your main goal?
Main goal, honestly, main goal is just to give my daughter the life that I always wanted as a kid. You know, not to be that parent that, you know, tries to enforce what I wanted as a kid for my daughter, but trying to give her those mentorships and, like, you know, the guidance of what not to do. Essentially, you can do whatever you want with your life. I tell her all the time, whatever you want to do, I will 100% support you, unless it takes you further downhill or it's not going to take you to your full potential. And granted, she's 8, so she doesn't know her full potential, and I feel like I do, but she's gonna be a millionaire, I swear. But that's the biggest goal, is just to be in a comfortable spot to where she doesn't ever have to worry, you know. And no matter what, she's always gonna have me, for sure, and my side of the family, and just having that really good relationship. You know, as you guys have daughters, you know, everybody's a daddy's girl as a kid. I just want to keep that moving forward, to where no matter what, she's always calling me as her best friend. So that's the most important thing to me. Life goals is to get into be that cop that I want to be. It's where I'm called to. It's where I'm destined to be. Helping people out is my passion. So we're not going to divert and try to go to firefighter like Tyler's talking about, because that's not it.
Well, I put an application in for the.
Hey, I was actually thinking about going to doing EMT and going that route.
Nope.
Yeah, that's exactly what my friends told me. The entrepreneurs, they're like, not the hell with that. You want to get into a jump?
No.
So, but yeah. So if we do that, guys, whatever you want to do in life, it takes you to decide. It's never too old, too late.
Yeah.
By the way, it is too late for him. Do you want to call her? Do you want to excuse yourself?
I can hear my phone ringing. It's
yeah.
too late for me, though.
Yeah, okay.
It's too late.
You can bounce. We can still wrap up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can wrap up. Yeah,
we can do that.
Okay,
Just,
guys.
can I say one last thing real
Yes,
quick?
sir, go ahead.
Yeah, it goes off what you guys were talking about, your that shooting moment you had and the other moment you had. In any situation you have in life, I know I've had. It still clicks with me every time I get in a critical incident or whatever. Deputy Molina, you're the one that used to tell us this, drilled it into our heads when we were training. Win. Say win to yourself. If you're going to fight, think of win, the word win. Not just you're going to win, but what's important now. When I got hit by the car with my motorcycle, as soon as I hit the fucking ground, what's important now? My daughter, my family. I got to get up, got to go, keep moving.
I just told myself when. Right now, you're saying that because you were in a motorcycle accident, introducing something new, but they don't know about that.
No, they don't.
You shouldn't have. Not only should you not have survived the motorcycle accident, but the part after, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you survived
No,
that.
definitely. I have a lot of those situations, but that's the only thing that always clicks in my head. What's important now in any situation I've ever been in.
So, guys, take a look at these pictures now. Take a look at these pictures.
Yeah.
This is him learning to even walk.
He still wears those pants, by the way.
Oh, God. Man, it's incredible, guys. So that's Tyler. Continue. Sorry.
Cool. No, that's all. I just wanted to tell that to everybody. Just remember that if any situation you're in, it pertains to that. Just win. You're gonna whatever it is, whatever's obstacles in your way, you're gonna pass it and keep going. Yeah, what's important now? I know I use it a lot. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that or used it. When I was a cop, I did have a shooting. I was in a shooting. All those situations, win. Even though it pertains to a car accident. You know, last night I didn't feel like I was winning, but no.
You
That's
look
all.
like you were on deathbed when you faced
It was the worst pain ever.
So I think just to recap on this, guys, life in itself will have a lot of ups and downs, and life is like riding the best roller coaster in your life, blindfolded. So surround yourself with people that have been through it, through the highs, through the lows, because you get to enjoy the highs and lows when you're when you take your blind off. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we are so either we know it all, or we're too prideful, we're too strong, that we keep that blind on in our lives. You know, I can learn everything. I'm a team player. I can know everything, but I don't know nothing about being a police officer. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about when I was a security guard. I know how to fight, and that's what was my goal. I did go to college. I did know. Obviously, you know the basics, but when it comes to it, Jesus comes over here. Jesus tells me, hey, we're going to code this shit. I'm like, code? Okay, 1, 2. When you say that, that's what it meant, right? Like, that was like...
That's bad magic.
Like, that's the kind of coding I know. Is like, hey, 2, like, run it down, you know? It's like, okay. But that's the kind of coding, but I don't know. So I'm a team player. Everybody has a part in life. No matter what you're going through, you're going to go through it by yourself, but you have a team. And remember, know those people. You can probably come and talk to them. So to wrap it up, guys, words of encouragement, everybody. Last one.
Again, like I think we can all just say it till we're blue in the face, you know, is...
Microphone's over there.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to the people, right?
No, okay, you look at the camera.
But no, we, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. I know things can change overnight, you know, Efrain was saying, but... I think everybody needs to understand that, you know, the change starts with you, right? Like with Tyler, you know, or myself, right? Back at the bottom. The only thing I can do is I can't control anything around me. Yeah. But I can control what I'm doing. So again, any change that you want to have and make in your life, it starts with you, you know, right? Put one foot in front of the other, like Efrain said. It's not gonna happen to you. You have to go out and you have to take it. So.
Yeah, same kind of situation, you know, like you had said, everything that happens to you, the only thing that matters is how you respond to it. Biggest thing is, I always talk about is fight or flight. Are you going to run from it, or are you going to face it head on and be like, no, all this stuff's happened to me, you know, you might have foreclosure, you might get divorced, you might get broken up with, you, whatever the case, lose your job, get fired, whatever the case is, like, how are you going to, like, get from the spot that you're at now, which is where you don't want to be, okay, how are you going to get to where you do want to be? And just start that process. Mm-hmm. Little things, like literally little things, changing your eating habits or making your bed during. I hate making my bed. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world.
No, it's really? The best thing.
Dude, I'm gonna mess it up.
I like making my bed. I like making it because no matter how shitty your day is, you can always come home to a.
Here's my logic to it. I make my bed. When I get in it, it's not cold. It's insulated. All the heat's in it.
That makes no sense.
I don't care. It doesn't have
Open
to be
your window. Turn on.
Open your window. We live in Phoenix.
It was 37 degrees last night.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Sorry.
So you don't make your bed because it's... Why don't you make your bed?
Take the sheet. That's it.
God.
You don't make your bed because you're just going to mess it up again? Is that your logic? Or
yeah.
Do you wipe your ass because you're going to shit again?
No. Leave it in there. Leave it in there. It's just going to get messy again.
No. I don't know. I gotta go though because I'm already like super late.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good.
All right.
Go ahead and run, guys. Guys, this is Tyler. He's running. Ashley, sorry.
What the hell was that?
I was gay.
Did anybody just see
you
him?
trying to suck on your finger? Yeah. All right, buddy.
I'm out. Where's everybody?
She's just.
I'm my little girl. I said bye.
Yeah, and then the other thing too, you know, the world doesn't know shit.
Like that is the biggest, you know, obviously we're gonna keep it going for like a couple more minutes, guys. The world doesn't owe you shit.
I'm Kim Jong-un, dude.
That is the best quote somebody once told me. At the time it didn't make any sense at all, but now I realize it. Nobody's coming to save you.
No.
Get your ass up and fucking work.
I'll tell you right now, nothing's gonna kick you harder than life while you're down. I could take it from me.
One thing I've always learned about that, and to kind of, you know, add on to it, is like when you're having those highs, you always have to stay humble, right? So you could talk about it. We talk about it with each other. We're all in kind of the same mindset. Like where we're at now, like that's great. Like you have the job promotion, you got in the department that you want to get onto. You know, you have these fights that are coming up. I'm moving forward with my process. That's great. But the thing I always like to think about is like, dude, no one fucking cares. Work harder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind, because, you know, when you sit there and you start to kind of dwell on like all your success and whatnot, then you're like, no, this is great. This is where I want to be. Dude, just move further forward.
You know,
continue to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I fought Gleison Tebow, and I fought him for the Oscar de la Hoya MMA show up in L.A. And I remember this fight is one of my most memorable fights. You can go and watch it, but in my head, like, man, I still remember it because we both hit each other. So obviously, I don't know how you guys' dreams are, but in our MMA industry, I want to have a fight where I'm bleeding cuts and I'm tight, like those Rocky where, you know, it's Adrian, like one of those, like.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, you already look like him.
Or like, but we live for those moments. I want that fight where I'm like rocked and I get up and I swing and we go at it. Obviously, that is only happens in movies because they don't. But we had one of those closely like that. We went at it, and I broke this knuckle. I broke my knuckle in the third round, and I hit him, boom, and I couldn't really throw it. And I remember this. I threw an elbow, and it was such a beautiful elbow. I sat there and admired it. Like I was like, oh, it hit.
Look at that beautiful bitch, huh?
Yeah.
And he made me fly with a double leg. He took me down. I never remember this. He really showed me his strength.
Yeah.
He was like, "You're not gonna move," and I was like, "Okay, I'm not moving." It
You're
was
like Tyler on my back.
Yeah, like I was like literally, I felt his strength. So Gleison Tebow, big shout out to you. One of my best fights ever. But yeah, guys. So in life, don't sit there and feel bad.
And you know, with that, like I kind of just want to touch on this. You said, like, you know, you want to be beat up, you want to be cut up, right? Because that's like a point of pride. You know what I mean? So, you know, I kind of I think of that like, you know, when we go to like pre-deployments or we'd be out in the field or whatever, right? You know, you're doing a lot of things that other people can't do. Yeah. Right? So at the end of the day, like you come, like, I know we'd be like out getting beat up for a couple weeks and then we come back, we're all beat, you know, tired as shit, you know, beat to hell, hungry, starving.
Shitting out bricks because of MREs.
Dude, and like I the way I always think of that, right, is I love that. Yeah. Like and I'm sure Efrain can speak to that too. I love getting the shit kicked out of me, right? Figuratively, him literally, me figuratively, right? Yeah, from it. I'm speaking, yeah, but no, it's a point of pride, right? You know, I was able to go through this, I did it, and I'll do it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, you know, like we talked about that frame of mind where, you know, we in the military, right? Embrace the suck. Like the moment you sit there and you're just like, this fucking blows, and then you just go, but you know what? Fuck it.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Yeah, fuck it. Like, and again, we talked about it last week. Nothing forges bonds better than hardship. So when you go that, you look around, you're like, all right, I'm with, you know, this sucks. This fucking blows.
But I fucking love it.
But I love it, and I'm with people that are not only doing it with me, but I love them too. Yeah. And so, and then instantaneously, it just doesn't suck. Like I've been, you know, especially when I was overseas, we were doing a bunch of different stuff, right? Yeah. And it's don't get me wrong, we'd have to go to ranges while there was typhoons. We'd be sitting outside getting pissed on trying to shoot guns all day, and it doesn't fucking happen that well. But at the end of the day, like I love it. I love it. You put me. I thrive in stress and I thrive in misery. I've become so accustomed to, you know, like if my environment is not shitty, like if I'm too comfortable and there's nothing going on, like I go. You don't know what to do. I go crazy. Yeah.
So a little recap on that, guys. We all go through life, and some of us like to share those moments. So go find yourself some teams, like a team aspect, like something that involves people. What shaped my life and really kind of got me into it was getting sent to the military program as a juvenile. I got sent to the military program, but it just made me feel part of something. Like they held me accountable. So 2024 is my year known as accountability. You're going to take chances. You're going to fail, but you're going to fail forward. You're going to learn how you fail. You're going to continue. So it's technically not even failing. What is failure?
It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
If you're not failing, then you're not fucking trying hard enough.
Yeah. Like, how many times have you asked the girl to be your Valentine's and said no? I'm using that example because of
Your
Sebastian.
son. Yes.
My son. By the way, guys.
Did that work?
Dude. So my son, they told him, you should do, I don't know what they told him, but they told him something. What'd you guys tell him?
No, Tyler told him. He said, give her the note that says, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And
because he put yes or no, and she did. Her friend crumbled it up and threw it away or whatever. So Tyler told him.
What did he say? He said, "Will you be my Valentine?" Check yes or yes.
Yeah, you have a choice.
Leave him with no option.
You know what he did?
What he did?
You know, he had a competition, like a little boy likes her too.
Yeah.
He went and told the boy everything that she doesn't like as if she liked it. Like,
it's a mind game.
So the guy,
the art of war.
Now the guy the girl doesn't like the little kid, so Sebastian's in the running.
The little boy comes up to her and he's like, "I heard you like killing kittens." No.
So that happened, and guys, so no matter how many times they tell you no, he's a prime example. There's always going to be a yes at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
As long as they keep you down, guys. I've wanted to change so much for my life, but it took me to get up and go. You know, it takes you.
You have to take that leap.
Yeah.
Even for me, like now, taking that leap is so fucking scary to me.
Yeah, well, it's hard, man. I mean, how many times did I talk about this podcast? And it wasn't until my team held me accountable. It's like, when is our first episode?
Yeah.
And look at us now. We're on a roll. We got, by the way, big shout out to our official sponsor, Tapatio Beef Jerky. Thank you guys. You guys.
The best uncle in town.
Hey, yeah.
Tap up.
Yeah.
So everybody, we're going to go ahead and put the link below. You guys can actually go and order your beef jerky Tapatio. Believe it or not, my daughter's like, doesn't you like beef jerky? And this is a true story. She's all about it. Like, they send her direct, like, mail that says, Amaya. And I'm like, what
good.
the
It's just great.
Yeah, it's like.
Dude, every time you brought it over, I'm like, I'm just going to have a couple pieces.
Yeah.
Kill the whole fucking bag.
So, guys, thank you guys. Thank you guys for you guys' support.
Appreciate it.
So, guys, once again, it was a truly honor to come to you guys on the second episode of The Naked Raw Truth. Next week, trying to get still approval on Joe Coy, but if he's not available, he will be available soon. We're going to go ahead and touch on your life a little bit, and then obviously we're going to leave the favorite deal.
The best for last.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's because we want to keep as many viewers as possible. Once we tell his story, it'll be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Guys, so once again, guys, thank you. This is your friend Efrain Escudero. I will be fighting on the 23rd of this month. I will be in Mexico City. I leave the 19th, and I'll be there for the fight week, the whole entire week. And then we're still doing it, Jesus? Well, we will have on our actual fan page or our Instagram, people will actually be able to, they're going to be commentating my fight. You guys are?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So we're going to have I don't know. I was wanting to surprise them, I guess, you know.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have them commentate my fight from the Naked Raw Truth. Obviously, they can do it remotely, no matter where they're at. Obviously, my fight will be on YouTube next week. I'll be at Lights Out Extreme Fighting in Long Beach. Remember, I'm your Spanish commentator for Football TV, guys. Everything that I got going on, everything. I was fucking in a dark room crying myself, because I didn't think I could do it. I'm a prime example. I was hurting. I had tasted so much fame, so much money, traveled, and yet again, I was fucking failure. I was trying to hide from it. I was being a sheep. I was running away from that failure.
It's easy.
Yeah. So, guys, I fucking finally had enough. And I stood up and I was like, here we go. Guys, I'm your Fubo TV commentator for the Spanish broadcasting.
Shout out to Fubo.
Fubo, David, we're waiting for that call. Beef Jerky Tapatio has come on board and helped me throughout my whole process. My buddy Steve, I was facing jail time. I met these wonderful guys. they held me accountable to create this podcast. And now, guys,
He was about to say kids.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was about to say kids. That's how we told you last night you're fucking old. You almost said kids.
Not to preface when you're talking about how you just had your kid in 2012. I was just fucking graduating high school.
Yeah.
but the fact is, I graduated high school in 2005.
Oh,
You know what I was doing in 2005?
I was in 5th grade.
Yeah. Dude, I was tetherball champion. I was smacking the shit out of it.
Guys, so once again, guys, thank you, guys. Say bye.
Appreciate it, guys.
Hey,
See you next week.
Where can they find you? Social media.
Oh, I have to make a new one for this.
All right, guys. So don't follow him because he's not gonna approve you on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new one. You guys are more welcome to follow the one I have now, though.
What is it?
R Tucker 223.
R Tucker 223.
It's
and then
linked in
Jesus. What's yours, Jesus? I want them to follow you.
I don't even know.
Is it
It's reaction.
They-
React.
It'll be in the
De Jesus Cristo?
Yeah.
All right, guys, and yours, Efrain Escudero, at all social platforms. The Naked Raw Truth as well. So guys,
Also, we're hecho in United States, by the way.
there.
Estados Unidos.
There. I'm hecho in Mexico,
Hecho Arizona.
but raised in Arizona, guys. So guys, once again, thank you, and we are taking. You guys can write us if you guys want to go in emails and sponsors. I'll be hitting you guys up. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
You guys.